Hello footy tippers, welcome along to round 3 of Super Rugby 2014. Russell Barwick alongside ESPNScrum.com's Greg Growden. And if we have a look at the Friday night game, have a look at that stat on screen. The Crusaders up to Auckland to take on the Blues in 10th and 11th position, Greg Growden.
Who would have thought? But then the Crusaders were very poor last week against the Chiefs. They should have won that game, but floundered on about 75% possession. But I think they'll get it back together in Eden Park.
Certainly, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They've only played one game so far.
That's right.
The Rebels make their first appearance for season 2014 against the winless Cheetahs, but the stat there on screen, the Cheetahs have never lost to the Rebels.
I think that'll change. I'm going home ground advantage. The Rebels had the bye last week. I think they'll look okay, and the Cheetahs will struggle because of the long flight.
Stormers at Newlands take on the Wellington Hurricanes, who were very disappointing last week.
The Stormers have struggled as well. Again, home ground, Cape Town. Stormers, again, problems with their back three, not scoring tries.
Okay, that'll be an interesting one.
I'll go for the Stormers.
Okay. The fourth game of the weekend, the Saturday games that kick off in New Zealand at Waikato, of course, the Chiefs taking on the very surprising and very good Highlanders.
They were. The Highlanders, I think, will go okay this year, but easily the most impressive team of last week was the Chiefs. How they defeated the Crusaders on limited ball, great defence. They are the team to beat. I think the Chiefs will win comfortably.
Okay, it was a very impressive win by the Chiefs,
it
wasn't it?
was. They had Harlan in ball. Cruden was outstanding at 10. The Crusaders were on their line the whole game. They held them out. It was a plan B for the Chiefs. This is something you hadn't seen. You know, they're a good attacking team. They're also a terrific defensive unit. Only worry is they've got a few injuries, but I think that could hit them later in the season.
Okay, the interesting fact will be the crowd for the Waratahs and Reds. Disappointing last week at their home game on a Sunday. What'll it be at ANZ Stadium?
Well, if they're fair dinkum, they'd want 30,000 out there to show. Yeah, it's Waratahs Reds out there. If not, they're in big trouble.
Both teams very impressive. Waratahs scored a lot of points, led a lot of points in, and Queensland, the Reds winning in Canberra was always impressive.
That's right, the Reds were impressive. Again, another situation, the Brumbies probably losing it more than the Reds winning it, but they did the right things. A minimal game by the Reds. I'm going to go for the Waratahs. Particularly, they looked good last week, especially when their 9, 10 and 12 didn't play that well for the Waratahs. So when everything's on song, I think the Waratahs are going to do some interesting things this year. Yes, they're going to win.
Haven't won in their last 5 against the Reds. We'll see if that changes this weekend. The Force have their first home game against the Brumbies, and it will be a tough trip coming back from New South Wales last week.
Well, the Force, obviously their game plan doesn't involve tries. They looked shocked when they scored tries, and I think the Brumbies, even though they were very ratty last week in Canberra, I think they'll win that one by 10 points.
And the final game of the weekend, it is the Bulls taking on the Lions, who've been surprisingly good at Loftus.
Yeah, Lions are the big surprise. All of us are tipping no wins. They've already got 2, but they're on the Bulls with the world's oldest man, Victor Matfield, playing. I think they'll get over it in a pretty tight and I think pretty dreary game.
Okay, let's wrap up Greg's tips on screen. He likes the Crusaders to win, the Rebels to kick their season off. He thinks the Stormers can just get over the Hurricanes, Chiefs to beat the Highlanders, Waratahs over the Reds, the Brumbies to beat the Force, wrapping it up with the Bulls at home against the Lions.